Rumor has it that an unknown self-taught master crafting items. Oh yeah, we read that last time. We got the guy. Counselor commissioned the artisan to create some of the best items she possibly could and place the masterpiece on public display. The young master decided to stay in the barony. Nice. Zvanki Key, the high priest of Aristil from Restov. Yes. First shrine in your capital will be built free of charge. Okay. All right. Expanded. Events. Okay. Still building the windmill. Okay. Hmm. Do that. Lumberyard. Forge, foundry, or a smithy. Shop. Smithy. Okay. Aram seems to be worried and wants to discuss something. To the throne room. Tristan lowers his head. Greetings, Baron. I'm sorry to take you away from your other affairs, but your people need you. When the stolen lands were freed from the Stag Lord, people sighed in relief. But many are still confused by their swift change of fortune. Truth be told, they simply don't know what to think of their new Baron, nor what to expect of you. Will you be a fair ruler for all, or only for those of wealth and status? Let us reassure your people. Show them where your favor truly rests. Perhaps a small celebration would help them win them over. Of course, you could spend the same amount of luxury on a luxurious dinner for the wealthiest of your barony, but I recommend organizing a fair for the common people, the ones upon whose shoulders your power truly resides. Hold a fair. We will hold a common celebration where everyone will be welcome, including the poor and downtrodden. This is the greatest gift a ruler can give to his people. Aram looks embarrassed. He runs his fingers through his beard and clears his throat a few times, then speaks at last. I heard, not that it is important, but, well, heard that an ancient trade road built by the dwarves of the Five Kings Mountains runs through these lands. I don't know what happened to them or where they went. Unforgiving time spares no one, but the road itself is still there, still here, and possibly not the only road, not only the road. Well, I have a request. If you find any dwarven ruins in the area, I'd like to see them with my own eyes. Why do you ask this? I shouldn't, probably, but it's like a wound that never healed. You know, it will only hurt more, but you still need to scratch it. Of course, it's foolish in vain, but I still wish to look at them. Sure. Thank you. Aram left his homeland long ago, breaking all ties with his people, but it seems not so easy to leave the past in the past. He knows that the stolen lands were once inhabited by dwarves and would like to see them with his own eyes. Jod. Your Grace, I was at Oleg's trading post recently. I noticed old Bakken just standing there, bored to death with nothing to do. This is most unfortunate. After all, the old grumbler is a very knowledgeable alchemist. However, he has no use for his skills, since the locals need nothing more than the simplest of healing potions. Then it struck me, why don't you hire him as your court alchemist? Hey, Obi-Wan. Just remembered I need to turn on the bot. How are you doing, my Grace? Doing okay. I need a caffeine load, though. How are you doing, Obi-Wan? Then it struck me. Why don't you hire him as your court alchemist? His decoctions and tinctures would certainly prove most useful to you. Also, it might be cheaper than simply buying from him or some other merchants. Okay.
How may I serve you, Your Grace?
What did you do to be exiled? I believe I have a right to know.
Fair enough. For Garess, the prosperity of the house and the honor of the names, my father was few. Don't imagine that I ask for pity. Everyone gets what they deserve.
I mean, we already saw that. I don't know why it was marked as not grayed out. If I were to offer you a public position, what job would you like to do?
I believe I can manage to uphold the law. Being a warden would suit me well.
Okay. You certainly seem to be in high spirits. Truly high spirits indeed. Just this morning, I received news from Brevoy. My illustrious mother, may the gods prolong her years, is terribly upset by the disappearance of yours truly. She has dispatched search parties to the neighboring provinces. Discreetly, of course. She fears whatever scandal might arise due to my absence. Well, it's not the first time she's gone to such lengths. Are we going to end up in a war because he decided to become our envoy? I'd like to learn more about you. Me, but I'm such a bore. What would you like to know? Tell me about your family. House Lebeda is considered one of the most influential in Brevoy, and rightfully so. We own the fertile lands around Lake Breikall and the castle of Severhall. An impressive structure, famous well beyond Brevoy's standard borders. We also control a significant amount of the lake and river shipping trade in the region. And if it's my family that's of interest to you, my father passed away long ago. My mother spent years attempting to marry my sister, Elana, off to our beloved king, Oleski Sertova. As for myself, well, the family remembers I exist on the rare, or not so rare occasions when I end up causing everyone trouble. Judging by that story, it seems no one is truly close to you. Close relations are a luxury that some people can't afford. I once became close to a man I considered to be a mentor and a friend. I later learned he'd been using me to acquire information on my house's caravans for some local bandits. I learned much from that experience, and so I shall watch your entourage with a keen eye. I won't allow any untrustworthy or suspicious people to go unnoticed. You can trust me on that. What do you value most in people? Decisiveness. Well, sensible decisiveness. I have no taste for those who sit and mumble all day when the time to act has come, or for those who rush in without consideration or planning. You came of age 2 years ago. Why Lebeda? Are you still heir to the throne and not sitting upon it yourself? A throne is a curious thing. It owns you more than you own it. My mother bent over backwards to draw me into possession of my father's legacy. But I would like Lander to really see and do something in this world before he becomes Lord Lebeda. You will return home eventually, won't you? Of course. Can't let a throne sit empty after all, especially not one so wealthy. I will return someday, but for today, my house can wait. No, I kind of like this kid. I need to discuss politics and affairs of the barony with you. Always glad to provide counsel. What's going on between the royal house of Sertova and the Aldori Swordlands? To be blunt, sly schemers battling for power against stubborn blusterers. Long ago, both of them ruled a kingdom of their own. Sertovas ruled over Isia, and the Aldori Swordlords over Rosslyn. Then Churl Ragarvia came in with his dragons and made it abundantly clear to everyone that everything they saw around them was his. Who do you think ran the quickest to express their deep devotion and loyalty? Certainly wasn't the Aldori. They fought to the last, and they almost died out as a result. Over the next 2 centuries, the Sertovas squeezed everything they could from the benevolence of their rulers, and now, after the vanishing of the Rogarvia line, Oleski Sertova has seized the throne, but the Sertovas owe a blood debt to half of Brevoy. It would prove difficult for them to hold on to that power. This makes them paranoid. They see enemies everywhere, and the Aldori are no exception. What's my barony's role in the Sertovi-Aldori conflict? I'm certain they'll keep trying to win my support. The Aldori are brave and senseless. You're more likely to pull them out of trouble than to be the one receiving aid. And the Sertovas are smart. They'll gladly sell you out of it if they see profit in it. They're also unbearably boring. All of which means you made a wise decision when you picked me as your ally. I wouldn't pander to them either, but I'd also avoid angering either of them until there's good cause. What can you tell me of the river kingdoms? Have you ever seen a jar full of spiders? Much the same, only on greater scale. A plethora of small nations and city-states that form spontaneously and dissipate just as rapidly. Nevertheless, there are those that could potentially pose a serious threat or become a promising ally. Attacks makes a fine example here. Any advice for me? Met Keston Garrus before. He was an amiable, gregarious man, not at all like he is now. Now he's a broken man, and I don't consider it wise to trust broken people with important positions. How do you like being regent? Gives me great satisfaction, Your Grace. The very thought of how much I influence the barony. But you must be asking about my responsibilities. All matters are well in hand, and by no means do they hamper my other affairs. Okay. Okay. Miri. Nothing new with her. Storyteller. The man standing before you resembles an elf, but a very old one. His face is wrinkled, and his beard is white as mountain snow. The man seems completely blind. The old man stares past you with unseeing eyes. He seems to be consumed in his thoughts. He mutters a soft melody, swaying back and forth, slightly to its rhythm. Ah, who is there? Is that you, Your Grace? Who are you? I'm an elf from Kaonin. My name is not important. I am the storyteller. Collector of stories. I collect unknown legends of ancient times. Long ago, I was a smith in Kaonin. The fire of the forge has burned out my eyes, but I'm grateful for it. If I could see it, I would yet forge suits of armor for Adara's guards. Instead, I've stepped on the path of an adventurer and gatherer of ancient legends. Many peoples are long dead. Their homes crumbled to dust, and their bodies turned to ash. Only legends can still tell us of their triumphs and the defeats, their joys and fears. I would be so interested to hear the stories about us after our demise. I've always been drawn to the Stolen Lands. For countless expeditions, armies, and even kingdoms have met their untimely ends. When I learned of a new barony being founded in the heart of these lands, I knew I wanted to be part of its story, so I made the journey here. Are you really an elf? Do other elves age like you have? Common question. Despite my unusual looks, I am an elf. And an old one, yes. Perhaps older than any other elf of Kaonan. However, I doubt my age alone is responsible for my appearance. I keep the stories of many people and races, some forever gone from the face of Galarian, but they live on in my memory and my heart. When I accept a new story, I lock it within myself, bearing the weight of its words and the emotions they invoke. Sometimes I think that I probably should have died long ago, but some incomprehensible force is keeping me alive and granting me the ability to continue my quest to gather stories, be it divine power or fell curse. I'm grateful either way. How could you tell it was me? It's not so hard to recognize a ruler by the way he walks. No one in here steps as confidently as you, Your Grace. Would you care to trade stories with me? I'm a collector, not a trader. If I share a story with you, you receive the power to pass it further, changing or embellishing it, whether willingly or not. Can I be certain you will keep my stories intact in their absolute purity? No, I do not think so. At least, not yet. These legends are the most precious valuables of this world, the last remnants of ancient tribes. They are beacons illuminating the way to the past, allowing us to meet generations long gone. Cannot let their light fade. The path to the past must not be lost. Sorry, I'm still waking up. But I can offer you a deal, Your Grace. If on your journeys you discover items that come from eras past, bring them to me. If my eyes can see the stories that these relics hold, I'll gladly share them with you. If you find all the pieces of any ancient artifacts, I can even recall my smithing skills to unite them and restore their power. Oh. Remind me what it is you want from me. In your travels, pay special attention to items from ancient eras. There must be an abundance of such things throughout the stolen lands, for these lands remember stories of the rise and fall of many kingdoms. I found the shards of an ancient artifact. Can you restore it for me at the anvil? May I? This scorched piece of metal is a part of a curious artifact known as the Necklace of Double Crosses. Inside it, I sense a story of many deeds, not heroic, but low and maleficent. If we find all 7 of its fragments, I will be able to restore the artifact and recount its inglorious story. I've brought some relics. How interesting. May I? A coin from a non-existent country. When Chorl the Conqueror mastered Rosslyn, having claimed it for Brevoy, he prohibited the issuance and use of such coins. Both ordinary folk and the Aldori sword lords were required to use new coins, decorated with the Chorl's profile. But no one was quick to be rid of these prohibited coins. Oh no. In many houses, they still store boxes and whole chests of such coins, waiting for the day when Rosslyn declares its independence. And what is this? I hear the voices of the trees. Smell the scent of fresh leaves. A dryad mark, is it not? I would be happy to purchase it from you. A soldier does not ask where the banners of war are headed. He or she goes to battle, dies, and leaves it to others to decide whether the cause was just. This tag belonged to one of the many warriors who helped establish the glory of the Taladan Empire. If you would permit me, I would gladly purchase it from you. Ah, the belongings of brave heroes who performed their feats here before you. I sense you would be interested to hear their story. There are too few of them here for me to recount it yet. Please find all 5 of them. I'm sure you won't regret the time you spend in the search. Remember me should you find anything noteworthy. I need a wise advisor at my court. Would you like to serve me in matters of state? Thank you for your words. I'm unlikely to be able to interpret the intricacies of the political world or the affairs of the treasury, but my advice regarding the magic of arts would be useful to it. But my advice regarding the magic of the arts would be useful to any ruler. Okay, so something magical for him. Okay. Okay, so we can go back to the overworld from here. Let's go check out our village. Our empire.
Hello, my savior.
Oh, hello.
You asked if we'd meet again, and here I am. I see your fate has changed since last we met. Now you are the ruler who will determine the destiny of these lands. I am their living heart, the whisper of the wind, the strength of rivers, the luxuriant growth of the meadows. Do you wish to touch this power?
Oh my.
I will show you a place where we can finally meet in flesh, you and I. Deep in the woods, there is an old mossy ruins long abandoned, nearly swallowed by the thicket. There is an old tree growing among the stones in the yard, which I remember as a seed. A shadow under its green crown I call my verdant chambers. Visit me there, my lord, and come alone. A nymph's reward awaits you.
Couple things. I never thought of a dryad being grown out of the earth, like it's from a seed, so that's interesting. Second, why does this sound erotic? And three, asking me to come alone just throws up red flags. Wait, I wish to ask you something.
Forgive me. Nymphs are not made for cities. The noise and vanity of human settlements vex me. I will answer all your questions, but there, in the silence of my asylum.
I was happy to help. I'll see you soon in the verdant chambers.
So long. I will await you there, as the ground waits for spring under the heavy winter's snow.
Okay. So, you see a dark-skinned, wiry man with a weather-beaten face and a happy smile on his face. He is dressed luxuriously, and his dark hair and neat mustache are exquisitely coiffured. Asuf from Absalom is happy to welcome you, Your Grace. Come, take a look at the best wares we traveling merchants have to offer. Please come, take a look. Tell me about yourself. My pleasure, my grace, Your Grace. Asuf's family was not rich, and he, as many in Absalom, had to start from the very bottom. As a child, while his peers chased pigeons and stole apples at the market, he worked at a tannery. Oh, I can still smell this disgusting stench. Well, the young apprentice worked hard, saved every coin, and soon managed to purchase that tannery from his former master. Then, as soon as he had enough money, he opened his own trading agency. After 10 years, countless deals, and many tours in his caravan, Asuf was one of the most successful merchants in Absalom, thus writing his name indelibly in the history of the great city. Well, how was that? I'm looking for a writer so I can dictate my memoirs. I think many would find it interesting and useful to learn more about me. What is the secret of your success, Asuf? There is no secret. perseverance, strength of character, attention to detail, the gift of persuasion, charm. I mean, that is the secret. You can't say there is no secret, then tell me the secret of your success. All this, among other things, are key to success in my profession. But if I did have a secret, who would I be to share it with anyone? Why did you leave Absalom, the center of global trade, for some young barony in the stolen lands? This is a long story. I don't think your grace would be interested in. Come, tell me why you left Absalom. I insist. Very well, as you wish. It was about a woman. When I was still young, I fell in love with the daughter of a judge, an important person in Absalom. For many years, I tried to win her heart, but she was cold as stone. I should have given up, but this is not in my character. In the end, I did manage to win her love, but I was unready for it. One of those traders will sell you BPs, keep in mind. You'll be buying a lot of them from him. Okay. As Abadar is my witness, the flames of hell burn inside this woman. I could not live with her for even 6 months. Oh, that sounds vaguely familiar. Or not so vague. Sounds like my ex-wife. Tenderness and passion one day, screaming and scandal the next. Very much like my ex-wife. Sometimes she would break into my office during business meetings to make a jealous scene, and sometimes pull me by my collar from the finest taverns in town. I couldn't sleep. I was nervous all the time, and it started to affect my business. I realized there was nothing else to do but run. Leaving her and remaining in the city would be impossible, even such a city as Absalom. I decided never to return, and I still fear that wildcat of a woman will follow my trail. Although sometimes, after a couple jars of wine, I still remember her. Perhaps it was I who unleashed this tornado in her. If somehow I behaved differently. Let's see what you have. Corrosive heavy flow. Holy crap, this stuff is expensive. Stratagem. +2. Ring of Luck. +1 to damage rolls with bows. Okay. +2 protection ring. Holy crap. Lesser kinetic diadem. Okay. Cloak of Shadows. A bigger bag of holding for 25,000. 25,000 for build points. Dinosaur bone. Interesting. We're in no place to like really buy any of this right now. And we do have 26,000 gold. Trap Springer gloves. Verdel. Greetings, Your Grace. I'm Verdel, a blacksmith. Tell me about yourself. What is there to tell, Your Grace? I'm a blacksmith. My father was a blacksmith, my grandfather was a blacksmith, and his grandfather too. Besides, every one of them were remarkably fertile. So I have plenty of cousins, second cousins, third cousins, and all of them are blacksmiths too. Pretty much all the weapons in Mivan were forged by someone from our family. That's why I moved away from the old home grounds. My skills are more useful here, that's for sure. You look a little unusual for a dwarf. You expect to see a beard, eh? No offense. What's the point of a beard? Excuse me? Especially when you're a blacksmith and working with fire. Good point. Burn it once, dip it into lighting oil, and catch a spark from the forge, and your beard is history. You're better off without one. That is a very good point. What are you reading? Well, different things. It's nice to take a rest with a good book. Just now, it's Valor and Honor, 10 Adventures of the Splendid Willis Gunderson and Absalom. All right, what do you have? Adamantine full plate. 18,000 gold, though. Jesus Christ. Mithril full plate. So what advantage does adamantine? I mean, adamantine costs more, but it seems like it has more disadvantage. You have more of an armor check penalty, more of an arcane spell failure chance, and you get to use less of your dex. What's up, Swift? How you doing? I was looking at the adamantine full plate versus the mithril. It looks like, I mean, the adamantine costs like 6,000 gold more, but it has more disadvantages. At the same armor class, you get more of an armor check penalty with adamantine, more of an arcane spell failure chance, and you get to max dexterity is less. So I'm trying to find the point of adamantine heavy plate or full plate, and it weighs more. Why would that cost more? Adamantine grants the weird damage reduction. That's why. Yep. And so mithril. Okay. Because it's mithril, that's why it has the different properties. Okay, okay. I don't understand like the 3/ negative. Like I've never looked into damage reduction in D&D or Pathfinder. So I don't understand like what that means. Does it mean you take 1/3 of the damage? So 3/+1 means you soak 3 physical damage with, say, +1 weapon. So you soak 3 physical damage regardless of its enchantment. So what you're saying is I should buy this for my tank. Okay. You convinced me. Keeping the tank alive was probably the best first investment, right? It's our first gear investment since we RC. Since we got to this part of the game. The tiefling girl looks as though she's made of springs. She cannot stand still for a moment. She nods her head, snaps her fingers, and taps her feet to an inner whirling song. Ah, ADHD, I recognize this. Seeing you, she quickly waves her hand and breaks into a wide smile, and immediately starts jabbering. Your Grace, welcome. What do you want? Scrolls, I have them. You won't regret it. My suppliers will bring more scrolls for sale if you manage to attract more mages to your land. More mages, more demand, and more goodies for you. So go build them libraries, and we'll profit from them. Could you speak a bit more slowly? Sure, as you wish. Who are you? Zarseer, the letter gobbler. At your service. Okay. Basically, it's number of soaks / requirement to overcome the soak. Okay. And the negative means you can't overcome it. Okay. Good to know. Best spells, charms, jinxes, and hexes for the best baron across all the river kingdoms. Buy it all and don't be stingy. You won't regret it. Just suck up. Where do your goods come from? It's a family business. I've got siblings across all of Mendev. They pinch they're very creative suppliers, and I sell it all. Get it now? Don't hesitate. My goodies are great. All right, Tony. Lots of scrolls. Okay. Greg and Octavia. Tree Strike is good. But also if they have Stone Skin, you can see another damage reduction. Okay. How do you like it in my party? I think it's grand. You have a fine gang of lunatics here. I myself am no noble from high society, but seriously, Octavia and I have never dreamed of a leader like you. To imagine we'd sit in the woods and rob wagons, maybe join a band of mercenaries. We were never expected to become the henchmen of a local ruler. Not to mention a pretty one. Regonar winks at you playfully. Oh my. You talking about the scroll vendor? Tree Strike. I haven't had a lot of use for it yet. We rarely come across anything with damage reduction that wasn't easily overcome. And it only lasts for 1 round, so kind of shitty in that regard. Or no, it's concealment. Concealment, that's what it does. Tree Strike gives plus 20 attack bonus. Yeah, and allows to see things that are concealed. Or hit things that are concealed. Not to mention a pretty one, yeah. Thought you and Octavia were together. Wouldn't she be jealous? Octavia and I are connected, and this connection cannot be broken. We grew into each other, you know? Jealousy is for weak cowards who don't trust each other and are scared of being tricked. If a knight on the side threatens your love, just means there is no real love to begin with. She and I are together to the end and will never part from each other. So when you like some lad or lass, it's no drama to me. Yeah, we've seen this before. Anything new with you? Nope. What is this? What is this place? Someone's house. Don't mind if I do. Harem.
Becomes distance.
Basically, if you have a rogue with used magic device, you pop the true strike on them, and all their attacks should sneak attack that round. Interesting. Are you sure you want to see the Dwarven ruins? Why open old wounds? I'm not sure. This will likely bring nothing but pain, but I suspect I will regret going into the ruins. But nevertheless, I ask, please take me there. Okay. Guards. Valerie. Nothing new with her. Delia. See a stout man suited in well-worn armor. His face is framed with silvery stubble, and his fleshy nose is red and pockmarked. He radiates perfect calm. As you approach, he bows respectfully and with dignity. Rylan, your grace, captain of the city guard. Delia, assistant to the captain, happy to serve. I don't remember hiring a guard captain, or any guards for that matter. Came here from Restov with a dozen of my best guards, by order of Lady Jomandi Aldori, your grace. I hired the rest of them from among the locals. Don't you worry, your grace. We're now the subject of the barony. We've sworn to serve you faithfully and loyally, and you can count on us. Besides, we draw our salary from your chests. Of course, every one of us is ready to die protecting your grace. But there's still some work to be done when it comes to discipline. You know that dwarven author, Baldric Zebras? Zebras? Is it Zebras? Garlic Tundras? The name escapes me. My bonehead used to read his books about guard duty right on guard duty. I'll have to teach them a lesson or two. I like to learn something about those who serve me. Of course, your grace. I've been a guard all my life. I started a snot-nosed runt in the Night Watch. Restov is famous for its fencing schools. Young people from all over the kingdoms come to study there. It seems every other person has a sword, and every third thinks they know how to use it better than the rest. A misspoken word or a drunken fight can quickly lead to a stabbing rampage. That's why there's so many guards in the city. They don't accept just anyone. Lady Jomandi took note of my achievements and marked me for advancement. That's why I'm here. As for Delia, I found her on the street. About a decade ago, I remember vividly, a tiny dwarf girl sitting on the temple steps, dirty-faced, barefoot, feeding a piece of bread to a stray cat. I saw her and my heart missed a beat. Where she's from, who left her alone, and why. Only Eris still knows. As she grows, I tried to send her to learn a craft. But who can talk sense to a dwarf? She wanted to be a guard, and that's that. So now I'm teaching her myself. Luckily, she has a head on her shoulders and a fair bit of strength. Harlan, do the guards have everything they need? There are sufficient munitions and supplies, your grace. Salary is fair. We have enough to buy toys for the kids and a jug of beer when the shift is done. Of course, the town is growing. It would be nice to expand the ranks, but we can manage that ourselves. Okay. Guardhouse, I'm assuming. An old prison, the one the Stag Lord was using for his wine cellar. Tristan?
How
Jod?
may I serve you, Your Grace?
What role might you play in my government?
Your Grace, if there's one thing I know, it is matters of faith, whether it is my own god or some other deity. If you appoint me as High Priest, I'd be able to do much good. On the other hand, politics or questions of trade, I know little of such things.
Okay. Dog? Tavern? Nice looking tavern.
Step, step, step!
Someone carved a body poem about the origin of the name Stag Lord. Amiri. Alina. So nice of you to stop by, Your Grace. I'm Alina, the innkeeper. Tell me about yourself. Be happy to, Your Grace. I'd love to talk, especially about myself. Where are you from? What land? Which family? Hail from the River Kingdoms. Artum, to be... Artame? Artame, that sounds right. To be precise. From a farming family, like just about everybody else from around here. Fucking speech impediments. There's more fertile land and a pasture there than anywhere in the River Kingdoms, except maybe 7 Arches. The folks who grow crops and tend cattle are well respected there, but at the same time, they live in constant danger. There's too many bad people, too lazy to work all day. But don't mind taking other people's things. Why did you decide to become an innkeeper? I was bored. Please don't get me wrong. I was fine at Father's farm, and I've got nothing but respect for farmers' work. But in our back country, you could go half a year without seeing one new face. No news, nothing happening. I dreamed of working at an inn since I was a child. It's the kind of place where there's always lots of guests and stories. Where does the inn's name come from? Oh, don't ask. It's too funny. I kept thinking about what name to pick, choosing just the right one. But not one to waste time. I drew a mug on the door, figured folks would just see it and come in. So the locals got used to calling the place the Beer Mug Inn. So the name stuck. Tell me about the River Kingdoms. Yay, another bot. A month wouldn't be long enough to tell it all, Your Grace. Each kingdom has a special place all its own. Elves live in one of them. Another one, half the country belongs to the Marauders Guild, and the other half gives them their orders. They say they even get locals discounts. There's just one thing that unites us all. Like a strong thread keeps a quilt together. It's the six river freedoms. What is that? Yes, the first freedom. Say what you will, I live free. It doesn't mean you won't get beaten up for what you say, though. The second freedom. Well, if you call it a freedom. Oath breakers die. Those who break oaths get killed just like that. So people prefer not making any oaths at all. The third freedom. Walk any road, float any river. Once the ruler of Hybar decided to build a gate across the river and collect a fee from each passing boat. Well, there's no more high bar. The fourth freedom is even worse than the second one. Courts are for kings. Whatever a king says, goes. Well, as long as he doesn't say to build a gate across a river. Now for the fifth. Slavery is an abomination. Nothing to explain there. Runaway slaves from all over come to us for a reason. And the sixth. You have what you hold. It means that theft is much worse crime than robbery. You catch my drift. You can honestly beat a robber and keep what's yours, but a thief acts on the quiet. Shame on him, it's just disrespectful. Show us what treats you have. Okay, so stuff we can get from her for camping. Okay. Jethal. Finally, she'll actually speak to us. I would like to hear your story. Stories. Stories are boring and a waste of time. I have killed. I was exiled from Kayonin. I died. I was raised by Gathoa? Or Gathoa's gift? That is my story. Who were you before your exile? It's rather amusing. I belonged to a wealthy family and held a high position in the courts of Theodara, capital of Kayonin. When my little wrongdoings were revealed, the trial held in the very same court where I tried cases and delivered sentences over several hundred years. An awkward situation, don't you think? Who did you kill and why? Family. 4. But why is the more interesting question. What is it worth? What is the worth of 1,000 years if you cannot enjoy it like your first 10 dozen springs? Everyone considers elves ever young, but our youthfulness is but a mask, a threadbare ritual ground. What lies underneath? The dust of years and jaded repetition. With each year, the dust grows thicker, and erstwhile joys cease to excite. And cloy as a dish you've tasted 1,000 times. It's cloy. Long did I search for a way to avert this fate. Don't I, who has truly tasted life, deserve a better lot than those benumbed old elves who close themselves to the world? And I found a way in the ancient text of Gathoa. The ritual involving the blood of my kin. A trifle that would make each day feel as a holiday, created specially for me. The ritual gave strength not only to my body, but to my mind and soul. My mind whirled at every sensation, each sip of wine or silken caress. Oh, how I miss this. My cousin was the first I used for the ritual. It was a simple matter to pass her death as an unfortunate accident, but the enchantment would not last. I had to find another, and again conceal my trail. With the third death, my family grew suspicious. On the fourth, my deeds were finally revealed. Such a pity. If not for this, my unlife even now would overflow with burning pleasure, for I have dozens of useless relatives. Did you kill innocent elves for entertainment and pleasure? That's abominable. Yes, I have. Use whatever high-sounding words you wish to describe my deeds. Say abominable if it suits you. Reasonable and honest would fit just as well. Do you have family in Kayonin? No, she killed them. Anyone who's dear to you? Do you mean someone I would hesitate to sacrifice? Perhaps my daughter. I would regret the wasted effort. The creature turned out quite well, like a properly trained dog or a well-managed horse. Jesus Christ, woman. Is exile your only punishment for murder? For an elf, exile is serious punishment. There is no Kayonin in this world. Even I, who despises its hypocrisy, must admit as much. How did you die, and what happened after? I don't remember my death. I was stunned by the sentence of exile, and I admit I showed weakness. I wandered aimless, absorbed in despair, without concern for my safety or sustenance. And then I remembered desolate rocks. A stone I lay upon, a convulsion, passing not only through my whole body, but through my soul. Then I awakened, cold, calm, my body overwhelmed with strength, but haunted by a strange internal silence. There were bloody prints of bone feet on the stone next to me, the sign of the goddess. A battle scythe lay nearby. It was the first time I heard Bergathawa's voice. She spoke but 3 words. Hail the Inquisitor. And that is all. She has neither addressed me nor addressed my pleas ever since. I will not bother you with the story of how I tried to comprehend my new condition. Soon I had a chance to put my new powers to the test. A group of my kin had tracked me through the woods. They were insolent and would pay dearly for this. But I had to reckon how I might free myself from their persistent chase. A powerful protector from among the short-lived could help me. The Sword Lord seemed suitable. That is all. Tell me about your birthplace. Hope you do not ask from idle curiosity. Kaonin is the birthplace of the elves. The other races are allowed to visit within reasonable limits, usually only as far as Greengold. That is the enclave for half-breeds and the short-lived, a whim of our queen. Surely I enjoyed going there sometimes. As to a wild beast show, beyond this caricature of a city, Kaonin is a mixture of grandeur and the sad remains of ancient glory. Next to today's graceful dwellings lie the ruins of ancient monuments and fountains. Elves prefer to live in small groups in secluded settlements. The most outgoing and ambitious live in the capital, Yadara. Daily life is filled with the efforts of 100-year-old infants seeking worthy goals, and 1,000-year-old stony cynics entertaining themselves however they can. That is all. It's scarcely worth mentioning that even this gloom is far more tempting than anything one finds in the lands of the short-lived. She is very, very cynical herself, even though she's likes to throw that word around for the old cynics from her homeland. What's it like to be undead? Do you wish to know what it means to me personally, or what powers and limitations it imposes? Do you regret not being alive anymore? You surely know how to ask questions. 2 desires led me through life: to feel pleasure and time again, to feel and to achieve perfection. Unlife brought me closer to the second. I am changeless, torn from time, the chaos of the world, and even the soul circle have no power over me. But everything comes with a price. Most things that brought me pleasure in life are meaningless to me now. How can I decide which is better? There's no purpose in living only for yourself. It makes life and unlife equally senseless. Agreed. How do healing spells, prayers, and potions affect you? Dreadfully, of course. Your healers had better stay away from me in battle. The undead are healed through interactions with negative energy, and can perfectly manage that on my own. You don't need to sleep, right? I'm spared from that bothersome need, but I hope you not take this as a reason to invent additional responsibilities to entertain me during the night. I spend this time meditating and addressing the goddess. What about carnal pleasures? A tactless and facile question. That pleasure is now as senseless to me as food or wine. Action without feeling. Ooh, that sucks. Tell me about your goddess. It might sound strange, but I know less than others about Ungathioa and her faith. My transformation into her inquisitor was unexpected. I will answer to the best of my knowledge. What do you know of Urgathawa herself? Oh, certainly. She was once a mortal woman, basking in life and all the pleasures it had to offer. Her passion was so strong that Urgathawa rebelled against Pharasma, against death itself and its laws. After her own death, she escaped power of the Lady of Graves and returned to the world as a goddess, and the first undead. Since then, she has protected all who submit their souls to pleasure and passion, paying no heed to the worn-out morals and dictates of law. What does it mean to be an inquisitor of Urgathawa? This question is more complicated than it seems. An inquisitor by nature is the most zealous defender of her faith, the hand of their goddess in mundane affairs. When I received this title, I expected that Urgathawa would tell me my mission, but this never happened. The goddess remains silent. There is only one reasonable explanation I can imagine. Discovering what's expected of me is part of my mission, so I reflect on this and make my prayers and wait for a sign. Is Urgathawa feud with the other gods? Not Urgathawa, but Pharasma still tries to call her to order, and Sarenrae to heal her. You and Tristan seem to not get along, do we? He bothers me no more than any overzealous fool. He tries so daily to redeem me with his faith. I know a few sweet ways to redeem him with mine. What does Urgathawa require of her followers? To enjoy, taste exquisite dishes, to feel the lover's caress and drink the enemy's suffering. A wonderful religion obligation, isn't it? Except that you can't feel any enjoyment from a lover's caress, and you can't get any enjoyment from exquisite dishes, from your own words. So you can't do what your goddess requires of you. What made you follow me? Curiosity. The need for a reliable ally. You see, I must come to understand what my goddess seeks from me. Urgathawa gave me powers of an inquisitor without declaring her will to me. I await her reply, any hint or trace or clue. And I suppose our meeting was no mere accident. Besides, imagine that several Kaonan assassins still pursue me. They never risked attacking me while I was under the patronage of the Aldori. They are unlikely to attack while I have reliable allies like you. But why do these assassins follow you? I don't know. They can't have been sent by the Queen. I'm branded outlaw, but my punishment was exile, and it's not custom for elves to contravene their own verdict. My attackers shouted something about threat and blood. I suppose they're a splinter group of feeble-minded zealots, or someone on a quest for personal revenge. Okay.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder? I did it.
Okay. Any other rooms we can go in? Yep.
I spy? What do I spy?
I spy loot. Dwarven war axe. Don't mind if I do.
Trail me. Did you see that? I'm not mad enough to do it.
Okay. To get into that chest yet. Alright, that's it for the inn. Main square.
Step, step, step!
Oh, hi. A tense silence hangs over the house. Casey, your tiefling friend, emerges from the shadows, but her eyes are staring into the distance. She seems to look right past you. No, not now. The turmoil is certainly over, but you see fear in Casey's eyes. Her blue eyes. It's you. I wanted to say I. Please don't be afraid. You can tell me the truth. What's going on? The girl closes her eyes and clenches her fist, obviously in the grip of a strong emotion, but one you cannot read. I knew it couldn't last forever. Why did he even make this rule? He knew it would be impossible to keep. Come what may, you should know that the person you know by the name of Kaisi does not exist. Her real name is Kaliki. And well, it's a long story, and such stories are better told beside a welcoming fire. Will you hear me out? Sure. Stories by the fire in the desert where I was born. My fondest memory. When the day is done, hosts and guests, parents, children, friends, and rivals all gather by the fire under the stars to tell their tales. All they did, all they witnessed, all they heard from other travelers, and the whispers carried by the desert wind. My sister and I often snuck in to hear these stories, hiding in the shadows just beyond the circle of light and warmth. We are hellspawn, you see. Tieflings are unwelcome guests in Kadira. Unblessed by the light of merciful Sarenrae. We grew up sleeping in a common tent, scavenging food here and there like orphans, all but outcast and disowned. We were 13 when we left and set off to find happiness in the cities, and everyone we left behind sighed with relief. My sister and I, we are twins, but as different as sun and moon. Her name is Karara, which means silent flame. She is fire, a cold fire, but one that turns everything to ash. I am a river. It brings me joy to give water to tired travelers and nurture green shoots. But when I flood, I am bound to bring death. Despite our differences, we are one. Despite our differences, we are one. Our lives belong to divine Nethys, and by his mercy, we now live in turns. While one of us is here, the other sleeps in another plane. And when she wakes up, we switch places, just as you witnessed. Interesting. So this is why you didn't remember me when we were talking to Jamandi Aldori. How could I remember you? I never met you at that time. That was Kanera. She was the one who talked to you at the reception and helped you fight off the assassins. They usually write each other notes, recounting in detail all that happened and describing any friends that Kaisi had made. At that time, we switched right in the middle of a mansion, engulfed fire and filled with assassins. Kanera didn't have the time to write any notes. And how has it begun to live in turns? This story, it's one I've never told to anyone before, no one in the whole world, and it's not easy to confide in a stranger. There's too much grief and guilt in it. If you don't mind, I'd rather not go into the details. And yet, she goes into details. You see, my sister died, and I couldn't get over it. Kanera was killed by a soul eater, a monster summoned by secret followers of Abaddon, Abaddon's archdemons. Those who summoned him died in the fight, but the beast was too strong for my sister, and I wasn't even there to protect her. We just had a fight, and we both did some stupid things just before, but I don't want to talk about that now. When I found out what happened to my sister, I was ready to make a deal with any power. If only I could just get her back. And I found such a power. And I was contacted by the Arcano thing, the herald of the god Nethys himself. Promised she would return Kingmaker to life, but on two conditions. First, we must both keep an arrangement in secret. Well, you broke that secret now. Second, we would never be able to meet again. And so our new life began. We now flew through the world, guarding our secret, always introducing ourselves as Casey to hide that there are two of us. And we switch places with each other at random. While one lives, the other sleeps in a demi-plane, one created specifically for us. You can't control the switches? No, we can't. They happen at random, most often while we're sleeping, but sometimes in broad daylight. That's why we can never stay in one place for long. If someone witnesses a switch, we usually tell them tales of a special magical way of traveling. If people start noticing strange things and begin to figure things out. Truth be told, I'm so tired of having to pretend. We knew this couldn't last forever, and now the truth is finally out. What's the point in all this? You revealed your secret to me. It means you broke the rules by the deities set by the deity's herald. Yes. Will you make me regret this? I just felt you might be someone who could help my sister and change our fates. Okay. What can I do to help? That's actually what I wanted to talk to you about. Kingmaker was supposed to tell you of an ancient treasury that we've been looking for. Gold isn't the only thing of value in this place. It may contain an ancient relic taken by the Taldan raiders from a respected Chaldean temple of Nethys. It's an unusual relic called the Disk of the Eclipse. I once heard a beautiful story that it was created from the shadow that hides the sun and the moon, but I don't think it could be the truth. Nethys is the god of magic, who was once a mortal wizard, and relics from his temple are usually very powerful. There are many among his followers who think that solving the mysteries of magic, even rivaling their deity, is the best way to serve him. One such follower created the disc, long ago in the distant past. According to legend, it gave its owners control over planar travel, but only pairs of wizards bound by unbreakable ties could use it. While one of them traveled the planes, the other was his anchor in our world, and they could switch in between. Do you see why we so desperately need to find the disc? Might help us understand how the switch between me and Kingmaker works, and can make our divine patron happy. Nethys and his assistants valued the desire to understand the mysteries of magic above all else. And how did this disc come to be in the Stolen Lands? It was brought here by Taldans from the 5th Army of Exploration. Taldor and Kadira were enemies for ages, thousands of years ago. A soldier broke into the temple of Nethys and stole the relic to sell it or secretly hoard it as an heirloom. Hundreds of years later, his own kin, or the kin of his 100th buyer, brought the disc to these strange lands where the Taldarans had come, uninvited as usual, and which they finally vanished from with little trace. Sometimes history is intricate lace, and you never guess where it begins and where it ends. Tell me about the location of the treasury. It was called Sorrow Flow in the chronicle we read. It was once a Taldan town, founded by the veterans of the 5th. Veterans of the 5th Army of Exploration. They have a double D there. It kind of threw me off. It stood on the shores of a turbulent river, and that was what destroyed it. One night, a terrible flood devastated the settlement, killing many and driving the rest to flee. Only the tower in the cliff remained, which was too high for the flood to reach. Water covered the ruins for a long time, but last year it receded. My friends found a chronicle which recounted the destruction of the city and spoke of the disk of the eclipse which was kept there. I managed to track down the ruins, but they were frightened away by the monsters and beasts that roam the area. If this can help, then I agree. Thank you. I will wait for you there at Sorrow Flow. And please, let's explore the ruins together, just the two of us. I don't want to give myself away again in front of your companions. Breaking the Arcanothane's conditions once was enough. I have no wish to anger our god. So long. Okay. Wait. Was there anything in there to loot?
Time becomes distance.
Yes, there was.
I did it!
Old diary. So that's her diary. And let's leave it. Well, it's just going to do that over and over again until we... Arsino. Greeting, noble ruler of these lands. My name is Arsino. I'm a messenger from the temple of Abadar and Abbasalam. I came here assuming the citizens of your young barony could use the service of a priest. What services do you offer? I can sell you various divine spell scrolls. They're quite useful, and even if you don't have anyone in your party who can read them, while you're in this settlement, or indeed any place with a cleric willing to help you, you only need to open your bag and choose the scroll you wish to cast. Happy to read it for you. However, take care, they're out there in the wilderness. The scroll is useless without someone who can read it. To use a scroll in your journeys, you'll need a spellcaster whose magical training covers such spells, or someone skilled in magical devices. Tell me about Abadar. With pleasure. Abadar is the god of cities, laws, merchants, and wealth. The core of its teachings is simple. Law and order allows civilization to develop, which allows people to live in peace and prosperity. If Aristil favors old customs, small settlements, and simple trades like hunting, then Abadar patronizes development, complex trades, order, and entrepreneurship. Each priest of Abadar finds something personal in serving him. Some believe that law is the main aspect of their faith, and they guard it zealously. Others put well-being of their society above all. I personally follow Abadar's teaching that says civilization must penetrate the wildest savage lands and help people live in comfort and safety. You're an Aasimar, if I'm not mistaken. I suppose it's easy to tell, isn't it? Yes, I'm an Aasimar, though I'm not sure how or when the blood of the Celestials appeared in my family. Among all my relatives and known ancestors, I'm the only one who inherited it. I must admit, I'm glad its lot fell to me. It draws more attention to me, and a useful trait for a priest who wishes to gather a congregation. How did you come to be in my barony? That is a long story, a not terribly exciting one. I was born and raised in Absalam, but I saw little point in staying there. What's the purpose in promoting the faith of Abadar in a city already so large and well developed? No, I was drawn to backwater places, where civilization was just beginning to emerge. It gives me such joy to see the first stones of a new settlement being laid, to see wilderness that once harbored monsters and criminals become a safe, cozy home for people. I devoted my life to my travels, choosing to visit places like your barony. Allow me to say, it's a place after my own heart. A city grown over the remains of a bandit lord's lair is exactly the sort of triumph of civilization Abadar prescribes. I hope my skills as a priest will be of service to the lands and their denizens. So eager to help the citizens, why do you charge for your services? It's part of Abadar's philosophy. The rules of trade and exchange developed for a reason. They help bring order to our world. They mustn't be broken without need. Opportunities to get what one desires for no effort has a corrupting effect on souls. I could use the help of a cleric. It's precisely why I'm here. Scroll of Resurrection is 14,000 gold. Holy shit. Okay.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, we've been all around here.
Forwards? No, backwards, backwards!
Dog, horse. Lots of horses. Okay.
Step, step, step!
All right. I think we've. Yeah. Wait. Something up here. Quarterstaff. Okay. All right, back to the throne room. Okay. Oh yeah, we gotta have to return to Devik Nettle. Found a new village on the outskirts.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
Should probably save now. We've done like 2 hours of exposition. Don't want to lose it. Advisor wants to discuss an urgent matter that concerns the barony's future. Start the rank up project. The advisor and the baron will spend 14 days on a special project to increase the rank of a respective stat. You can find such. Okay, it's under the projects. Okay. Okay, so we increased. That was successful. We finished that. Giant weed is taking over more and more farmland. Someone must persuade the peasants to start fighting this pest. Okay. No candidates. Yes. Projects. Probably should have assigned Aram to that first. The ancient curse you were warned about now plagues your lands. It would increase your barony stats every 2 days for 14 days unless you overcome it. To protect your barony, you should hurry to the bald hilltop to confront the threat, while also sending one of your advisors to assess the consequences of the curse. Both your actions are vital to the well-being of your barony. Okay. Three merchants from Absalom arrived in the region. They're ready to do business with the barony if their conditions are met. Sure. 5% chance. Increase that to 80. Ah, outskirts. Okay. Barracks. Longhouse. Herbalist house. Okay. Start event. Eight-legged plague. Troll invasion. Keston arrived at the castle with reports of strange trolls swarming the Gnarl Marshes. I fear there's another matter that requires your attention. There have been reports, many of them from settlements across the Gnarl Marshes. There are trolls in the forest, seemingly hordes of them. Rumors claim they're more typical than the typical savage beasts. They almost seem to show reason and tactics. They form groups, attack all at once, plunder the villages, and carry away the peasants. Even stranger, kobolds have been spotted among their ranks. And usually they would be attacked on sight. I'm not certain any of this is reliable. Fear builds mountains of molehills. Some of the rumors even say the trolls carry torches and burn down houses, seemingly unafraid of open flame. It's entirely possible the rest of the reports could be exaggerated as well. Common folk will hardly heed any simple exhortation. Someone will need to go to the Gnarl Marshes to investigate the matter. I was considering the matter when it hit me. What if you were to take on this investigation yourself? Believe trudging through swamps and chasing rumors to be part of a baron's duties? Forgive me, Your Grace. However, if this problem isn't handled now, by next month, there may be no one left to save. So, if you decide to go, please remember that trolls can only be killed with fire or acid. Okay.
Trolls who didn't fear fire? That sounded terrible, and dangerous, and terribly dangerous. If we couldn't rein them in, our young barony would be eaten up in a snap.
Okay. Oh, Lindsay. There she is. I was wondering where she was. Nothing new from her, though. Alright. Start by giving her new armor. And I think we are going to change up our party a little. Level him up. Religion and Arcana. Extra channel. extra channel. We might go with evocation spell focus for him. Okay. Okay.
Trail me.
To victory!
Oh. Wait, where's your shield, girl? Okay. Just hasn't pulled it out yet. Oh, it was invisible. Weird bugs. Nope. Back off.
Tear them apart!
Justice!
They go down! Did you like that?
Well,
You didn't?
at least they're not much of a threat right now. Silky.
Consider me provoked.
Die, die, die!
Down.
Could be worse. And will be. Definitely will be.
Well, shit. Hide her down. Okay.
How may I help?
So let's buff up.
Patience.
Ready and willing.
I am your shield.
I crave for adventure. So many thoughts, so little time. Yes.
All right.
I'm still here.
I'm listening.
Here!
Shall we move? We shall move.
What you want?
Share your troubles.
Okay.
As you order.
Confide in me.
No.
Give the order.
Well, sorry.
Here I
Was lost
am.
in thought.
See. Don't hesitate.
I'm not afraid.
Good sneak attack. Okay. Let's heal up.
Consider me provoked.
Charge.
Repent!
Heal up. Double heal. Okay.
Die! Die! Die!
Oof. Doom Spider. Oh, shit. Didn't realize that was a different kind of spider. Okay.
The road calls me. I'll take the bait.
I'm listening.
You can count on me.
Here.
I shall end this suffering.
Tear them apart!
Greater giant spider. Greater giant spider.
They go down! Repent! Die! Die! Die!
Quit missing.
This won't kill me.
Okay. Charger? No, don't charger.
Let the attack commence! Magritium Turidos.
Let us strike as one.
Okay.
Damn.
Damn. Personal. Okay. Nope.
All right.
Oof. Do it again. Doom. No, it's not Doom. Touch of Chaos. We have not touched this thing at all. No. Definitely need to heal first. She's held in place.
I can't keep this up much.
Great. Now Tristan's held in place. Okay. She's held in place, that's right.
Lost.
Oh shit, harem's down.
May I see your entrails, please? Burn! Slice! Behead!
Why didn't you?
There. Avenge me.
Okay. Do it again. She's still held in place.
Consider me provoked.
Damn. Hideous laughter is a bitch.
Oh, Samurai, I see your light.
Okay. I should have turned that off while she was held in place. Damn, both healers are down. Uh-oh. No. Leave me alone.
I wonder what lies beyond.
Hey, can someone help me?
Damn.
I'm listening.
Okay. Give this to Amiri.
You can count on me.
Let's go ahead and enlarge her.
Share
As
your
well
troubles.
as this.
I am your shield. To victory! Ah!
definitely smacking him around. See if we can maybe grease her.
Could be worse. And will be. Definitely will be.
Heal up from both of you. And harem goes down. What's up, Budokan?
Give the order. To victory!
Ouch!
You're about 8 hours ahead of me. Well, I just spent 2 hours doing exposition with all the people in the kingdom for the barony. Will you be my dad? No, I don't need any more child support. I'm kidding. I don't have any child support. But I don't want to start now. Okay.
I'm not doing it wrong. The spell is flawed.
Okay. Buy you lunch? I can't buy myself lunch. How about you buy me lunch?
Lost.
I was watching him fell asleep. Alrighty then. Alright, no hold person yet.
Die! Die! Die!
He's got hold person on him. Do it again. Holy shit. 49 crit, which was reduced. Well, when the dice come together, they come together, don't they? If I ever become a streamer, I'm definitely not going to be a dialogue reader. Each their own. All right, that's her dazzling display. You might be moving soon. Why's that? Boom. Success. All right, Silky. Got a job out of state I work, and I think I'm about taking. Ooh, congratulations. Fragment of an ancient pillar covered with eroded letters of an unknown language. Outside is I own a house. Well, houses can be sold, and right now it's a seller's market, so it should go quick. And most likely in your favor. How much you want to bet that was the easy part of this fight? Or this encounter?
Time becomes distance.
Okay. Okay. Is there nothing else here? If I can sell it and pay off the loan I have on the house for repairs, I'll be happy and just move on. That's Pathfinder for you. One fight is easy, the next one's pretty hard, the next is what the fuck. Yeah. I mean, the first attempt on that fight was what the fuck, and on the third attempt, we finally got it. So. For some reason my profile for my mouse. Okay. There we go. Perfect. I'm on challenging difficulty. Thinking about putting it back up to hard, which is what we started out on. But the beginning of the game was a little too hard on hard for me.
Step, step, step.
Yeah, there's nothing else here. Okay. What was this quest? Yeah, we completed it. That's what it was. It was Bald Hilltop or something like that is what it was called. I don't see it there anymore. This game will make you think you've got an OP and then it will bitch slap you back down. Yeah, that's typically the way it goes. Okay. Sorrow. What is this? Okay. Okay, I'm assuming I pop the recurrent dream has recently been troubling the Baron's slumbers. He sees vigilant heroes entering ancient ruins to descend into the ground, never to return. Their faces show stern resolve, their lips pinched that. The angry red sun follows the heroes into the darkness, casting its fleeting evening rays upon them. Just before waking, the Baron hears faint whispers. "Come to me, hero. I wait you here in the tenebrous depths." Opportunity. Okay. Okay, we took care of the bald. Applause, please.